Hello, welcome to another episode of Toonami Pre-Flight. I'm Gil.
I'm Jason.
And today we're going to talk Read or Die, which I think is a good message for the kids.
I like it.
Specifically the OVA that Adult Swim showed many moons ago.
I think if that message was delivered in schools, many more children would read.
Or they might die.
More, or die, yeah.
I mean, you're giving them a
ultimatum,
binary choice, so it's really one or the other. So there's really not much other option. And then in a perfect segue from that, we're going to talk about some of our favorite video game villains. And we got a thing from Dana, and we got a sneak peek thing. But let's get into... Oh, we got some Adult Swim singles. What week are we up to now?
I don't know.
Week. We're fingers being held up, but they're not... Okay, 9 is what we're being told.
10. 9 or 10.
Somewhere between 9 and 10
9
weeks
or 10
of Adult
weeks,
Swim. Singles.
So not quite at the halfway point.
It's not even to the third way point, isn't it? Aren't there 28?
There's 22. 25. Yeah.
We're not very good with numbers today, but hopefully we're good with reading.
We're tired.
So let's
it's early in the morning.
Get into Read or Die.
Rod, as I like to call it.
Rod OVA.
Rod.
Rod.
Anime fans often abbreviate it to Rod. And then there was a TV series too, Rod, the TV series.
I haven't seen Rod, the TV series, but based on the name, I've
only seen a couple episodes.
OVA, I guess it is true. I've seen one.
So Read or Die was what? A manga first?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then was an an OVA in...
A 3-part OVA.
2001. Yeah, it's really kind of 3 episodes that...
are all about 40 minutes long. So it's like the old school OVA sort of breakdown. So it's really, if you broke it up into half hours, it would be like 6 half hours, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite... It's like an hour and a half. So I think it's 30 minutes, but instead of being 22, it's actually 30. So it would be...
the final one was 37 minutes. That's 45. All I know. So yeah, and then Adult Swim showed it in 2007 and showed it for like a year or two, 2004, and showed it for a year or two. Like it ran a couple times. And I think I recall Kim Manning, who acquired the show because she liked it a lot, because we weren't really involved in at that time in Adult Swim action much, and
we were involved in keeping the plane from.
She acquired the show and really had high hopes for it, and then went back and wanted to acquire the series, but that was right at the same time as G4 Tech TV. Remember G4 Tech TV?
I do.
Bye, Dusty. G4 Tech TV was trying their anime block, Anime Unleashed. One of many failed anime blocks in the world.
They unleashed it.
With a corny-ass name.
Right up in their face.
So they knew we wanted it and acquired it themselves, the Read or Die TV show, which was a 26-episode series that came out a couple years after the OVA.
Yeah.
And sort of
it takes place 5 years later, but it didn't take that long.
And it continues the story of the OVA in a very loose way. So G4 Tech TV showed it, and I don't remember how well, I mean, obviously didn't do that well, they're not around anymore, but I don't know how well it did at the time. So I've only seen...
Spoiler alert, not very well.
Back in the day, I watched the OVA, and because Kim was telling me, you gotta watch it, and then I've only seen 1 or 2 of the TV show, which I wasn't as into. But right now, you can't really find it anywhere legally.
Yeah.
You can't find it anywhere.
Well, we don't in any way support this.
I mean, if you don't provide a legal way to get your shit, then people turn to other options, so it's kind of on them. But it's hard to find. So if you want to watch it, you're going to have to do a little digging. But I think it's a good show. So Gil, why don't you explain broadly the storyline behind... Actually, why don't we first show the Adult Swim action promo for Read or Die that has to be created by our friend Hamid.
I feel certain.
From back in the day. So check out this promo. So it doesn't really tell you much. It seems like...
You have to have already known what the show is to understand what's going on in that promo.
All respect to Hamid, but I don't feel that he gave 110.
He went really high concept on it or really low concept.
I think he went really low effort on it. But in fairness to Hamid, he was doing everything himself at that time. So God only knows how much time he was given to work on it and how many episodes. Looks like one.
Maybe the first 5 minutes because he went in deep on.
So go ahead and lay out the storyline for us.
The British Secret Service MI6 has a library division. Do you think they really have a library?
Well, this is a world where Britain is still the major superpower in the world. Like they never.
What a crazy world.
The U.S. is also a superpower, but Britain is actually a bigger superpower than the U.S.
Didn't fade.
They didn't diminish their expansion. Yeah. They solidified it and became the biggest superpower in the world.
So their library division is tasked with protecting, reacquiring
rare books.
And
important books.
And they fight clones of famous authors and people through history.
Right.
And the first part of the OVA starts with them protecting the immortal beloved book. So Hamid would use the Ode to Joy as the music.
Yeah.
And then named all the relatively obscure people from
historical
history.
characters, but not even. But there are more. There are less of like Mata Hari ends up being like there are.
But like
like the super obscure ones,
and not in like explaining that what in any way is going on.
Let's just talk about the promo for half an hour. I love it.
We'll just deconstruct.
But yeah, so basically the overall plot is that you've got this secret government agency whose job is to hunt down these important rare books, and the main character, they call her the Paper. She has, by reading one of these rare books, she has the ability to manipulate paper. And she can turn soft paper into like shards. She can sort of
weaponize paper.
She can weaponize paper and almost has like a telekinetic ability to manipulate paper, which is a cool idea. And she's a librarian, so she's a meek, sweet. So she's teamed up with sort of a spy character. There's a lot of double crossing. It's very steampunky, I think. And basically they end up having to prevent a guy who wants to unlock the secret of the immortal beloved book, and evidently Beethoven wrote a secret symphony he never showed to anyone called the Death Symphony, which when anyone hears it, it will kill them. So what he wants to do is...
I'm glad he didn't share it with us.
Launch a rocket into space to play the symphony for the entire world and kill everyone on Earth. So, high stakes, I would say. So, I mean, I think what appeals about the show, besides the fact that the main character is a bookworm hero, so of course, you know, all of us nerds that watch anime can identify with that. Besides that, I think it's cool how they mix historical characters, and there's it's a weird concept that you would control paper, and a weird concept. I like the idea of the symphony that can kill people. So there's just some cool high concepts, and then the action is really well choreographed, I think. I think that's probably the key to the show's success is the action scenes are really well done. I
mean, the elevator pitch of they're going to fight over books is not as cool sounding as the images actually.
Speak for yourself. Speak for your damn self.
So you're going to have a book fight?
Yeah. People fought over books all the time.
No, I mean literally with books, like that.
You said over books. If you meant with books, then I changed my stance.
Preposition was incorrect. I apologize. But yeah, that you would have a paper fight doesn't sound like the most high stakes.
Well, paper cuts are nasty mother.
Can get infected,
man.
Sting.
You could get stung. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen with a paper cut.
But they normally don't paper cut your head off. So.
But yeah, so it did pretty well on Adult Swim. The bar was low in the Adult Swim action days, so it's hard to say. But it did well enough to rerun a few times. I did a little bit of research and found like old Toon Zone boards where it was like, it's rerunning again next week. Like, people were...
Most of the initial threads do not, much like us, heap praise on Hamid's promo because no one knew.
Yeah, everyone's like, what is this damn show about?
Did you see it last night? I didn't even know it was coming.
A lot of this is, and this was more a little bit of the junior internet days where you couldn't just instantly call up everything about a show. So there were a lot of people that were like, what is this show? And where do I see it? This promo doesn't tell me a damn thing.
Like, it wasn't like video capture. It was just a giant message board of... Yes, I did see it.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
No, it's on next week. So, I just remembered the show, and we just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes because I like the concept, and I actually think it's ripe to do more. I don't know if they will, but I like secret organizations and people with special powers, and it's a cool, like, you know, spies meet mutants kind of theme thing.
Have to call our friends at Studio Dean.
Yeah, and shout out Studio Dean. I like a lot of their work, and they did an Adult Swim ID for us recently. So thanks, Studio Dean, for all the chuckles. So next up, let's start our topic of the week, which is, what's your favorite video game villain?
Which never doesn't look spelled wrong to me.
Villain.
Because I'm stupid.
So yeah, this topic ended up being, we thought of the topic, and it ended up being a little more tricky for me than I thought it would. Not because, I guess, in thinking about it, I think what I discovered is I don't find a lot of video game villains that memorable, which is crazy considering every game you ever play, there is, and if there's a story, there's a villain, and usually in video games, they drag the shit out of it so that you don't get to fight the villain until the very end.
I was going to say, I think there's two issues working against you and to a slightly lesser extent me. Most of your video game playing, you just want to play the game and finish it, and then when you don't want to deal with the long drawn out thing. So you're more just like, argh! So it's not favorite, it's more like least hated.
Well, I guess.
And then there's also in games where you're building up your character.
Yeah.
We both tend to play all the other stuff so long that by the time you get to the final boss, you just kick the door down. He's underneath the door. You step and kill him, and then the credits roll.
You breathe on
like
him.
A memorable
you
fight.
Breathe garlic breath on him, and he dies. Yeah, I think for me, I'm always waiting for the villain to shut the hell up and quit monologuing. Which is why you'll see when the Adult Swim and Facebook choices, some of people's favorite villains in video games are annoying as shit to me because they'll just never shut up. Like, just shut up. So
this is what I'm talking about.
So let's talk about some of my favorite villains from video games. So first, I'm going to talk about GLaDOS, who is the central computer from Portal and Portal 2, the classic games from Valve. So I like GLaDOS because at the beginning in Portal 1, GLaDOS is not. It's an AI who is sort of taking you through the testing that you're going through in the Portal games and telling you what to do. And then slowly in Portal you discover that the AI, that she's pretty much evil, but that she's kind of pretending she's not, and then you find out she's like actually enjoying your pain, and you end up escaping from the facility at the end of Portal 1. So what I like about GLaDOS is she starts off like just a normal AI, and then slowly you realize, oh, she's actually evil.
And such a great character.
And she's just hilarious because the thing I love about GLaDOS is she feels sorry for herself, and so she uses sarcasm, like a ridiculous amount of sarcasm, and I enjoy sarcasm. Yeah. So when you start Portal 2, I'm going to show you guys a clip from the beginning of Portal 2. When you start Portal 2, GLaDOS is woken back up, and you are going back into the testing facility, and GLaDOS is super pissed at you. But GLaDOS is such an egomaniac that she pretends she's not super pissed. So that's why I love her, because she's totally insane and always trying to seem like she's better than you, but is actually desperately furious at you that you escaped her. And I just love the levels of that. And she's really funny. She's really well written. So let's check out sort of just the beginning of Portal 2.
Power up, complete.
Okay, listen. All right, new plan. Act natural. Nothing. Hello!
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what? Oh no! No!
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster. I will say, though, that since you went to all the trouble of waking me up, you must really, really love to test. I love it too, There's just one small thing we need to take care of first. Here we are, the incinerator room. Be careful not to trip over any parts of me that didn't get completely burned when you threw them down here. The dual portal device should be around here somewhere. Once you find it, we can start testing, just like old times.
So, I love how hurt she is by you getting away from her. It's like, she acts like a jilted lover more than like a I'm gonna kill you villain, but she's both. So yeah, I really like GLaDOS, and I still can't believe. I know they got caught up in Steam and all that, and they're making money hand over fist. But dear God, Valve, like it's time for Half-Life and Portal. Just pick one of the two. Just make us, let's keep it going. Just find another team. Like, it's been so many years at this point. Just get a new team together who is inspired by the old games. Like, I get it. We're all making lots of money on Steam and everything, but like, come on. Just as a gamer, it's my plea. So, my next favorite villain is one of the reasons I like her is because she's also a pretty complicated villain, and that is Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades from StarCraft. And what I like about Kerrigan is that she starts the game as a good guy, and then you witness and are a party to her getting screwed over by the Earth Federation. She essentially gets left behind on a planet. There's a desperate mission to destroy the Zerg, which are one of the alien races in the game. And she goes there, and she basically gets screwed over by the command of the Federation, and they leave her behind to die on this planet. But the Zerg see potential in her, so they basically turn her into a part human, part Zerg hybrid, which makes her
awesome.
one of the most powerful beings in the universe at that point. So she becomes basically the queen of the Zerg. So she, unlike all the other Zerg who are simply a hive mind, she has her own consciousness and individuality, but she is also part of the swarm. So I think she's awesome. They make her a good... You actually feel bad for her because you know she got screwed over, and she has a pretty solid reason to hate people, to be mad. She has.
I would think you would hold a grudge against.
Yeah, she has a pretty good reason. So, but you also know that she's ultimately a threat to the survival of the entire universe. So she got to go. So it's like you're torn. You're torn in the game between because especially Jim Raynor, who loves Kerrigan. So that's like the doomed love story of the game. So there's some good like classic storytelling stuff going on with Kerrigan, and then it's just fun to play as Kerrigan and control the Zerg, who are always my favorite in StarCraft. But let's check out a scene where Zeratul, who is one of the leaders of the Protoss, the other alien race, confronts Kerrigan, and they do a good job with just showing how much of a powerful badass she is she's not like a cackling like caricature of evil. It's complex. It's layered. There's layers. So check out this is one of the cinemas from the game. Check it out.
I knew you'd find your way here eventually.
Your very presence defiles this place, Kerrigan.
Do you hear them, Zeratul? Whispering from the stars. The galaxy will burn with their coming.
Perhaps. But you won't live to see it.
Please. Our petty conflicts mean nothing now. The storm is coming that cannot be stopped. Fitting that we should face oblivion together.
Never!
Fate cannot be changed. The end comes. And when it finds me, I shall embrace it at last.
The prophecy is uncertain. There is always hope.
Terrifying.
Like how they just kind of beat on each other for a bit, and then they're both like, "All right, I'll talk to you later." They're like, says you. all right, let's go. We're done here. So yeah, StarCraft, amazing games, and I think Kerrigan is a great villain. And then finally, my last choice is the Elusive Man from Mass Effect 2, and he also is in Mass Effect 3. I really like his whole character. Excuse me. I like that he's played by Martin Sheen, and that they just straight up were like, he's Martin Sheen. Like they just made him look like a younger Martin Sheen. But so quite. In the story, the Elusive Man is behind in the Mass Effect storyline, which is huge and convoluted, and I will do my best to. Our two guys on the crew are just dicking around here, yelling at each other. So he hasn't. So you haven't. Justin hasn't played the third one. So spoiler alert. Give me a break. The game's like 9 years old. Oh no! Someone dies.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic
off. Anyway, play the game. Get off your ass. So Mass Effect 2. The Elusive Man runs a thing called Cerberus, which is an independent organization, a shadow organization, if you will, dedicated to the preservation and forwarding of all of humanity's interests against, if it needs to be, against everyone else in the universe. So more ruthless and independent than any kind of government. Cerberus brings Shepard, the main character, back from death at the beginning of Mass Effect 2. And in exchange for bringing him back, they want his services. They want his help, as they say, with basically they've got tons and tons of money and resources all off the books. Shepard is in the shitter with the Earth Federation or whatever they're called in that game.
Yeah.
And he wants Shepard's help hunting down, all the different mysteries that are going on in the story. And over the course of the game, you can sort of agree with the Elusive Man's pro-human approach or disagree, depending on whether you play the game as Paragon or what the other one was, asshole, whatever it was. But Renegade. So Mass Effect 2, which I think is my favorite Mass Effect game. No? You still like 1 the best? But anyway, Mass Effect 2 is an interesting... It basically allows you to figure out, do you want to be like this guy? And you will... what I like about the Elusive Man is they make his goals clear. He never deviates from his goals. He's totally not trustworthy and basically tells you he's not trustworthy. All he cares about...
Can you trust that?
All he cares about is whatever's going to be in humanity's best interest. And that could be wiping out an entire species. That could be preserving something horrible that should never be preserved in case we have to use it as a weapon. Basically, you should never let him get the One Ring. So...
every time I'm met with the Elusive Man at the end of each mission, I just wanted to put a cigarette out in his eye and throw him into that planet. I hated the Elusive Man.
So I liked the Elusive Man because he was so dedicated to his goal, and they give you many opportunities to argue with him about the morality of his goals. And even if you're Renegade, you don't necessarily get along with him because he tries to use Shepard, and ultimately he's willing to screw Shepard over if it gets him to what he believes is important to help humanity. But I liked him as played by Martin Sheen. I liked his badass little... I think they totally copied this for that Cosmos, for the new Cosmos. I think they totally copied this look, but I like his sweet-ass observation deck where he's just looking at like a supernova, just chilling in his chair and smoking his cigarettes and thinking about the universe and humanity and stuff. I'd be the Elusive Man, no doubt.
Clearly, you're
no doubt.
Psychopath.
Yeah, but you're enough of a psychopath that just the fact that he's telling you what to do is the main reason you want to kill him. Don't tell me what to do.
It's a small part. I don't agree with his agenda,
part.
and I don't like his pitch.
You played as Renegade, which meant at one point you played through his agenda.
I played both ways.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean,
you did at some point dirty your hands.
Well, yeah, we all have blood on our hands, Jason.
So let's check out. This is like the finale of the second game. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played. This is the finale of the second game as Renegade. So this is the Renegade choice. I just like it. I picked it just because everyone has glowing red eyes, and I like it. So check it out.
Shepard, it's a new day, and we have you to thank for our deliverance.
We did the right thing. You don't need to try and make me feel good about it.
Always willing to do whatever it takes. Well, it's paid off. Adapting the technology of the collector base could be the biggest advancement for humankind since the discovery of the relays. It will secure our dominance in the galaxy against the Reapers and beyond.
Human dominance? Or just Cerberus?
They're one and the same. My mission has always been to promote and secure humanity's continued strength. Don't let idealism blind you. Using the base to its fullest potential is the best way to fulfill ours.
Just remember, the Reapers are still out there. Harbinger is coming. And you can bet he won't be alone. You get selfish, you start dreaming about power, and we'll all pay the price.
Don't presume to judge me or my methods. Cerberus will be ready to face the Reapers.
You brought me back to lead this war, and that's what I'm gonna do. If you can keep up, great. If not, I'll stop the Reapers without you.
How do you not take the opportunity to tell him to shut up?
I mean, I like that he's got scotch too, and just like that. I love uneasy alliances, and that's basically all of Mass Effect 2. I know you don't. You like to know where you stand.
I'm not opposed to uneasy alliances. I also had a very troubled past with
Oh
Mass
yeah,
Effect
this
2.
ties into your dislike of the game mechanics, which almost ruined you. Actually,
I didn't play it for a year.
you didn't play it for a year, and then when you did, you didn't go all the way with it, did you?
No, I played it through twice.
Oh, you're out of your.
I'm also
mind.
crazy.
Yeah. Go. Well, speaking of crazy, now it's your turn. Talk about your favorite villains.
So for this first one, I mean, obviously we're talking about villains. There's a decent amount of spoilering because you got to talk about the end of the game, and all these games are old. But we're going to talk about Braid, and this is a pretty big spoiler. So if you don't know,
By Jonathan Blows.
Tim, the actual. That's not nice.
Just his name is Jonathan Blow. That can't be his real name, first of all. Second, I think he kind of does blow. I like his games, though. But, like, on Twitter and stuff, I think he kind of blows.
His Twitter presence is like.
He's kind of a dick. Like, he's just sort of like, I'm so friggin' smart.
It's like I'm trying to do. I don't even know enough about the computer to know the question, but it's always like.
Some deep nerd
Why
stuff.
am I following him at this point?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Braid.
Shout out Jonathan Blows.
Now you're just being pointlessly antagonistic.
No, I'm not.
You're being a real elusive man
I'm
right
giving
now.
him shout outs.
So the end of Braid sort of flips the whole game on its ear, and it turns out that young Tim is not, in fact, trying to help the princess. She's trying to run away from him. So you replay the end of the game in reverse, and it blows your fucking mind.
It blows.
So Jonathan,
it blows all right.
It blows, Jonathan. So this is the end, not the whole end because it's really long, but the part that I just ruined for you. So check it out.
Check it out.
Boom.
Thrilling.
Well, instead of her escaping the night and helping you and then getting captured, she's running from you and trying to kill you the whole time because you're a dick.
It's quite a revelation.
Well, you didn't finish the game, so I don't think you really...
No, I'm saying it's quite a revelation.
Well, if you're actually being serious, you need to work on your delivery, because it sounds like you...
I didn't finish the game. I didn't like it as much as you did.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Tim, I don't know what the hell you did wrong, but you're an asshole. Up next for me is I picked from Chrono Trigger, because that was the fight that was the most memorable for me, but the sort of omnipresent Chrono universe villain of Lavos... particularly the Chrono Trigger fight, because what I like, one, it's kind of cool that you're a 70 billion-year-old evil machine man robot thing. But I like the mechanic that the way this fight happens, where the first time, instead of it being sort of a cutscene, and the first time you fight the villain, they just sort of slap you aside and you go. You actually fight it, but you get your ass kicked, and then you refight it later, and I haven't played it in a long time. Have you played any of the Chrono games in the last...
Yeah, I played Chrono Trigger like 3 years ago, and replayed it on Game Boy Advance when I was on vacation.
So I haven't played it since whatever...
10 years ago.
Yeah. But it was hard as shit then, and I just liked the fact that the way they set up the fight, and then also the mechanic of him, and he just looked awesome. So this is a new game plus video, because I couldn't find anything else. So this fight is easier when you see the video than it actually is. But let's check out part of the last battle. If you think that...
I was going to say, how long are we going to make people watch that?
Fighting him took forever.
Yeah, I remember.
So that was sort of to illustrate. And last for me is the potential villain, or maybe not, from Shadow of the Colossus, Dorman, depending on, I guess, where your political stance lies and how you feel about doing what needs to happen to save the girl of your dreams. You could be, and that's part of why I love this game, and part of what I like about this character is that it's sort of a little muddy in terms of who was actually the evil one, the people who were imprisoning him or himself. So he kind of tricks you into releasing him, but you don't know that until the end. So this is the ending sort of cinema of you wandering into the temple, having killed, is it 16? 16 of
Colossi.
the Colossi.
Ikuka order!
So that's my sort of
I didn't remember that guy at all.
Uneasy Alliance.
I played that game twice, and I couldn't have told you who the villain was.
Exactly. Is it Lord Aemon or is it Dorman?
I mean, for me, it was just all I remember. What I remember about the game was hunting down Colossi and feeling bad because I felt like I was doing a bad thing.
Yeah, because you were, but you're doing it for the right reasons.
You're the villain.
Yeah, maybe it's you. So
that sounds like something the Elusive Man would say, Gil. Maybe you're more in Maybe you have more in common than you think.
Well, I didn't say anything in common. I said I didn't like him.
You don't like yourself.
I like myself pretty much.
I don't like you, if that makes it helpful.
I don't see how that would be helpful, but
it's helpful for me. Clarify my own feelings.
You're a black and white kind of guy.
Sometimes.
Fair enough. Let's see how the Adult Swim Facebook voted.
Let's see their picks.
Elaine's.
Vaz Montenegro, Sephiroth, of course, Yawn. Handsome Jack kept coming up, and it's like, from Borderlands 2, like that yammering dumbass, like, people really love him. I don't know why.
Yeah, Sephiroth and Handsome Jack, I think, perfectly encapsulates.
Now, Sephiroth never talked. I mean, that's what I like about Sephiroth. Well, he had a few monologues, but for the most part, he didn't. He just showed up and killed you. Like, the Sephiroth, they did the Chrono Trigger thing where he just kills you over and over until you're finally powerful enough to get him. I think with Sephiroth, it's that he kills Aerith, or Aerith, depending on how you want to say it, and he looks badass, and that's it. I think that's the entire Sephiroth thing is based on, gosh, he looks cool, and oh my god, he killed her, which I think is, that's a memorable villain. He killed the main character of the game, which is still a movie.
Memorable, I would say, for sure.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorite.
Who's Kefka? Let's look it up while we're here. We ain't doing nothing.
Internet nerds?
I think you're right. I can't remember, though, so let's look up Kefka.
We're losing credibility by the second.
Well, I mean, we should have done our research, so we didn't do it, and now we're doing it now. Yes, he appears in Final Fantasy VI. That's right. Yeah, that makes sense. And Frank Fontaine, who is the main bad guy is That's the guy from the second
BioShock 2.
That's really weird. I mean, like, you wouldn't pick the guy from BioShock 1.
Yeah.
I almost picked, the main character of BioShock because the reveal at the end where you find out, you're the one that's been doing all this bad stuff because you were programmed by the guy. I can't remember his name, but would you kindly? That was a really cool reveal. Frank Fontaine I guess it's because it's newer. I can't think of another reason why people would prefer him over the other guy. But anyway, let's check out the Toonami Facebook Top 5 Video Game Villains. Sephiroth, Ganondorf, GLaDOS, yeah, Mario. Oh yeah, read what the guy said about Mario. We picked Mario even though it wasn't one of the number one choices because it was such a great. The reasoning was brilliant and hilarious. If Gil can find the email,
hold please.
Let's put up the screen again. Let me look at that. So let me look up Arthas. This is a bad guy one of the bad guys from World of Warcraft.
He is a sadistic psychopath who stomps on and kills countless small animals. He even rides on one's back until he jumps off it, sending it to fall to its death. Well played, Nick Arms.
He's also a real dick if you race him in Mario Kart racing. So yeah, I think that's a funny answer. I love the villains you don't think are villains. So thanks to everybody who voted. And now we have for you a sneak peek. And we are calling this Dreams 2. This is sort of a sequel to our Toonami fans have described as one of our most popular sort of Tom speeches. And I promise you this is the last time we will be referencing Dreams for at least 5 years. Putting a blanket thing down. But this is a pretty good one. This was put together by Johnny and Gil. So nice work, guys. And check out Dreams. Yeah.
When you were a kid, you specialized in dreams.
When I was a little boy, I wanted to be a hero, not some damn businessman.
A hero, huh? Ridiculous!
Now that you're older, does that mean you have to forfeit them?
It's beautiful, isn't it? The delicate nature of youth and wide-eyed innocence.
Maybe your childhood dreams did come true.
I'm gonna be the best hunter in the world!
But if they haven't,
this sucks.
Don't give up on them.
A person grows up when he's forced to overcome hardships.
The truth is, when you get older, sometimes things don't always turn out the way you hope they would.
Reality can be cruel, and it often strikes without warning.
Responsibilities can take over, and endless possibilities start to narrow.
Doesn't your own life matter to you at all?
Of course my life matters to me, but not just mine. Everyone's.
So you gotta do what you gotta do. Handle that business. But keep your dreams intact.
Someday, I'll prove I'm the strongest Saiyan in the universe.
Fine. It's never too late to suit up and take the journey to make those dreams a reality.
It's all coming back to me now. This is the feeling I've been looking for!
Believe in yourself. Create your own destiny. Don't fear failure. It's all as true today as when you were 12.
Don't take away my chance to prove what I can do!
Now get cracking.
Wish me luck.
Very nice.
Slight editorial note. Comstock was BioShock 2. Frank Fontaine was actually the guy.
Frank Fontaine was the main villain. We're
still on Comic-Con time.
We're stupid. No real excuses there. Yeah. Speaking of Comic-Con, if you guys missed our Comic-Con episode, we had a panel there, and we all wore some pretty crazy costumes, including Dana Swanson, the voice of Sarah. She and Tom, Dana basically really hosted the panel, and she and Tom did a great job. She and Steve Bloom did some pretty fun games with the audience, gave a bunch of stuff away. So we also asked Dana to sort of record her experiences at the con, and this is her time at Comic-Con, and she has titled it DanaCon. Check it out.
Hey everybody, it is Dana Swanson, and this is DanaCon, my 2016 Comic-Con wrap-up in San Diego. This was a really, really fun year. I got to do a lot of really sweet, fun stuff with Toonami especially. I got to be Sarah, not just like the voice, but in costume. It was kick-ass! Totally awesome. My friend Ashley made this optical illusion that went over my head, like it was a human umbrella that went over my head, and I had this like mask, and there were lights, and like it was made to look like the console of Shogo was down here, and the rest of myself was a disembodied head. We all looked great. I got to like hang with Steve. I was honestly really surprised that Jason and Gil trusted me to do a bunch of games during the pre-flight event that we did on the green. Totally cool. I gave away vacuum bags.
Vacuum cleaner bags.
Yeah!
What else do you got?
Hope you enjoy those.
Everyone is a winner!
Now, I also was doing a lot of stuff for my other job, working in commercials in the hot sun, but I really do respect my coworkers, especially the people that work on the Toonami stuff. They are badasses. One thing that I do when I know I'm traveling is I have to go to the grocery store.
I'm at the grocery store getting food because I can't eat a lot of stuff that most places serve. So, got a bunch of meat.
Oh, you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about Comic-Con. There were the big costumes. Well, last year it was Mad Max and Furiosa, and this year Harley Quinn everywhere. Another big thing, Pokemon. Pokemon Go has like caused a resurgence, so you could tell that people were scrambling to make product and bring it out. You'll hear more about that later. I will say it was Lure City when the servers were working.
Pikachu has to wait in line just like everybody else.
Another thing, I got to meet some exciting people, like Rebecca Brand, some guy from The Walking Dead, Ross, and then the cast of my favorite podcast, Beyond Yacht Rock. They're really great, and they signed an MC Hammer single for me. So that goes in my awful amazing record collection. I also got some swag for myself and my friends. It seems like people were more aggressive with the toys this year. Axe! It happens, it's okay. If you are going to go on a trip like this, I do recommend getting away from the convention and seeing the city. Eddie Ray and I went and caught Pokemon on Mission Beach.
Eddie and I made it to the beach. All you see right now is an SUV, but there's a beach beyond this. This is the time of night that we can come out to the beach.
To get that Pokemon.
To get that Pokemon! Dance party USA. Beach!
Here's some other highlights from my little San Diego adventure. Thanks, everybody. This has been DanaCon.
Dana always has a better time at cons than I do because the amount of people kind of freak me out, and Dana just likes the whole vibe and the costumes and everything.
Yeah.
I envy her.
I would like Comic-Con a lot better if it was just me.
If it was GilCon.
A lot less lines.
GilCon, no lines. Yeah, this is getting farted on. Well, I mean, you can still fart on yourself too. It's your fart, so then it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I said less.
Yeah,
none.
Less. So let's talk about, we've got 2 weeks of Adult Swim singles. We've got last week's and this week's because last week we're at Comic-Con doing our show. So let's sample both of them. So last week's was a band called Blank Mass, and I really like them. They are also in a band called F Buttons, and the F stands for bad word. So I'm glad that I got to work with them. I've enjoyed their music for years. They're really good live if you ever have a chance to see them. This album came out on Sacred Bones, who's a label that we've done a lot of work with, and so it's just a sort of fun thing to present. So check out the track from Blank Mass, last week's Adult Swim single. Dance Floor Jam from Blank Mass.
I don't like dancing, but I like dance music.
And
Does
then
that make me complicated?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think of you as a
complicated man.
No, I'd say you're definitely insane in the way that all insane people are complicated. So you're definitely complicated in that way. With music, I long ago stopped imagining what you listen to. Just when you would tell me like you'd leave your CD in your car for like 4 months, I was like, forget it. I don't want to talk to you about music because you don't give a shit about music.
Sure.
So next up is an artist I really like. Her name is Jaylin. She is a footwork artist. I guess you could classify her as footwork, but she takes it to really unusual places. I think her music's really incredible. So this is this week's Adult Swim single by Jaylin. And keep in mind, you can get all Adult Swim singles at adultswim.com/singles. You can stream them on our SoundCloud, or you can download them for free. So please tell a friend, pull that shit down, and listen to it. So let's check out Jaylin. And that's it.
Pull that shit down should be the new Adult Swim
Pull that
tagline.
Shit down. I would actually. It might be next year. Good idea.
Summer's here. It's time to pull that shit down.
Time to pull it. Summer's finally here. Pull that shit down. All right. So that's it for this week's Toonami pre-flight. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
Later.